Lester also hands you what looks like a blue crystal medallion on a rope.
If you place that on top of the sarcophagus of former Arch Mage Mick, his spirit should have enough magic to flow into the gem. After that, he should be able to talk to you.
I got a good feeling about this, guys.
The other thing is, the former Archmage is buried in his family's mausoleum in Vilhorn. It's not far north.
Alright, you are the Arch Mage. Can you teleport us there? You mind saving us the trip, or are you telling us that we need to walk?
Well, I still have to do some more preparations just in case we need backup on this. So right now, my magic is very, very depleted. Also, I haven't had any of my erectile dysfunction drugs in the last few days. You boys got some Viagra or some cocaine?
I'm sure we could, mix a bunch of drugs together and see what happens.
I'm down for that little frog, bro.
Well, somebody got him some strong shit.
Cade, you're gonna get fucked up with the Archmage?
Oh, hell yeah.
Here's what I'm gonna say is, do you have, I think you have cocaine. I think you guys have cocaine, if I remember correctly. So you want to mix the cocaine with the green dragon and have a power spliff?
Yeah, we're gonna make the Christmas special.
All right, I want you to roll a crafting check for me.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
All
right, yeah, no, you roll a doozy. You roll a gorilla knuckle to end all gorilla knuckles, and you're gonna share that with the Archmage and anybody else in the room that wants to partake.
Fuck you up for life, man.
As you're doing that, though, as you're crafting that, I'm gonna go back out to Uhtred outside because he is still preaching to the crowds, and I'm gonna roll a d20 to see how many people have gathered to his flock. All right, so you have 6 more people that show up, so your crowd is doubled. So there's a few more people that are listening to you. The original 6 are so enthralled that they're probably not going to leave at this point, and there's 6 additional ones that have showed up, so you can continue with your ranting of craziness.
And on the 7th day, the Basumra killed all the pedophiles.
We're going back upstairs. So Kane, you're going to toke up. Curtis is still invisible.
Yeah, I'm still invisible. Gonna step outside and look around the academy.
If you want to do that, you can. So is Saira going to partake in this as well, or is she going to just go and explore a little bit?
Saira doesn't take after frog lips.
What's the matter? Scared you might like it?
So Saira can do whatever she wants. You can go hang out with Uhtred, who's still in the courtyard, spewing his religious insanity at people, or you can go explore the grounds if you want for a little while, or you can go back to the Iron Bull, or you can keep talking with the Archmage.
He seems like he's going to get high, and I'd rather not deal with it. I'll go watch the Basum Ra freak go yell at people. That is always fun.
All right, so you're gonna go down and you're gonna stick around with Uhtred as he's doing his sermon. Kane, I'm gonna have you roll Constitution along with the Archmage, and you're each going to take a -3 because of the potency of the gorilla knuckle.
Oh, okay. So it's just nothing then.
Oh, he technically rolled a 0.
I'm a champ.
All right, so the Archmage takes a massive hit off of that gorilla knuckle, and he hands it to Kane. And after a second of holding it in, you see his eyes start to bug out a little bit, and he lets out a massive torrent of smoke as he coughs his head off and then collapses onto his desk and falls asleep. So he's out. Kane, you are toked up, but you are not unconscious. You're just really, really baked and have no idea what's going on around you. So we're going to go to Cham because you're going to be stumbling around in there for a little bit. Also, Saira, I'm going to say when you left, you took the blue gem with you since you're one of the more responsible people here.
Yes, that's most likely.
And to keep it away from the Archmage so he doesn't do something horrible with it while he's stoned. Cham, you're going to search around, so if you want to roll a search check to see if you find anything interesting in the college, you are still invisible.
Okay. This will be The Adventures of Curtis.
So you're just going to be slinking around the college. All right, 28. So as you're slinking around the college, you come to what looks like a meeting room, and in that meeting room, it appears to be one of the college's sororities having a special meeting. This is one of those art class things where everybody draws a naked person, but there's no naked person in there.
I'm going to peer in.
You peer in. It looks like a bunch of female wizards are gathered around the easels. They all have little paint brushes and paint pads and stuff like that. So they're all ready to go. And one of them kind of looks over at the other one and says, I can't believe it. When is he supposed to show up? He's late.
I'm going to continue listening.
They just kind of continue to bitch about it. They're just general gossip around the college. Who's fucking who, that kind of thing. Professor Smiffledorf has failed somebody again.
Well, specifically he's going to be late.
Basically, that conversation just kind of shakes out as they don't know when their subject for their painting is going to be showing up. He was supposed to be there already, but they haven't seen him.
All right. Fuck it. You know what? I'm going to take this. I'm going to turn visible. I'm going to walk in like, sorry, ladies, I'm late.
I want you to roll me a bluff check. Okay, I'm going to roll their intelligence. Since they're sorority girls, they're getting a -2. All right, well, that's a 1, technically. Not a nat 1, but technically a 1. So they're hook, line, and sinker. They're believing you. One of the girls looks over to you, the one you saw talking earlier, and complaining. Oh, finally. Where have you been?
There was a food truck outside.
Oh, lovely. Maybe I'll go get something afterwards. All right, well, strip naked. We're going to be painting you nude. You can get on the stool there. If you want to, you can stand on it like a pedestal. I thought we were getting in a half-orc, not a frogkin, but it's an interesting opportunity.
All right, Curtis turns naked.
All right, Curtis takes off all of his froggy clothes and gets up on the stool and starts basically rocking a pose. Anything specific you want to do?
The Atlas pose, the one where he's taking a knee.
All right, so he does that. I'm going to roll for the co-eds there to see how many of them actually... there's 5 of them there, so I'm going to roll for all 5 of them and see how well they draw you. All right, so 2 of them got 18s, so those ones are actually pretty good. Then you have, the 10 and the 7, which are not that great, but they at least got kind of the shape of you right. And the 3 just drew a stick figure because she's stupid. That's happening. So all of you guys are good at doing your own thing right now. Raka, I'm going to roll for you again to see how many more people have congregated. All right, that's a good one. All right, so that's 13 more people. So you have 25 people that have shown up at this congregation, and Saira is kind of just standing behind you, like watching this happen. So you can spew your crazy, and then after you're done spewing your crazy, then I'm going to roll for them to see how many of them you converted.
So let it be known, children, that the Basumra loves all of you, so long as you don't diddle little boys, and you don't stick things up your ass. All are welcome in this church.
Well, I'm out.
I'm going to roll for the crowd. Okay. 20 out of the 26 people have been converted to the Church of Basumra. Please add 20 HP to your health. All right, so you have successfully converted 20 of the random people at the college. You get, after you're done with your ranting, you get off your box and put it back inside of the Iron Bull, and you and Saira wait as Cham finishes his drawing exercises and Kane comes to from his weed trip with the Arch Mage. By the way, Kane, when you do actually finally come back and you realize that you're, just standing in the Archmage's office randomly, he is still unconscious. He's probably going to be like that for a while.
Can I rob him?
Here's what you're going to do. I'm going to have you roll a search check to see what you can find, and then I'm going to roll for him to see if he wakes up while you're stealing it. All right, well, so you rolled a 25. So what you do is you notice that in another part of the room, there's a jewelry case. It doesn't look like it's open, but it's relatively small. And you know that most of the time when wizards are doing stuff, their jewelry isn't just jewelry. It's usually enchanted with something.
Oh.
So you do go up to the box, and the box is locked. Now, if you want to try and open the box, I'm going to roll to see if he wakes up.
Yeah, I'm going to try and roll to open the box.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. You're going to roll a dexterity check to open the box. And I'm going to roll a constitution check for him to see if he wakes up. But your constitution check for him is just a straight D20.
Shit.
Okay, and I'm going to roll a constitution. Again, it's a straight thing for him to see if he wakes up while you're fucking with it. All right, he doesn't wake up. Now, because you failed your dexterity check, you're not able to pick the lock to get it open. However, you can keep fiddling around with it if you want. I'll just have to keep rolling constitution saves. Oh.
He was too high to remember he had tools.
Okay. So I'm going to roll for him again and see if he wakes up while you're fucking with that. All right, he does not, because, again, that's a straight number. You're able to open the jewelry case because you rolled a 14, and he is still unconscious. So inside the jewelry case, you find a ring with a green gem in it.
That's it?
Yep, that's the only thing that's in there.
Well, I'm going to take it.
Okay, you take it. Do you put it on?
Nah, I don't want anybody to see it. I'm going to put it
All
in
right.
my pocket.
Okay, so you take that and you put it away. So you're just going to leave now that you've taken...
Yeah,
what
now
you
that I've
believe?
robbed him. Yeah.
Okay,
Am I Green
fair
Lantern now?
No, but you will find out if you decide to use the ring later. And then Cham, eventually you are finished with your naked things. And also, one of the girls that rolled an 18 autographed her picture and gave it to you, so you now have a naked picture of yourself. Now that you guys are all done with your individual activities, you're back in the courtyard. Saira has the amulet that you would need to not imprison Mixed Soul, but talk to it at least. And you also have his current location marked on your map in Villorn, or the location of his mausoleum.
All right, guys, let's go.
You go back inside that. It's been open for a while. It's starting to get towards nightfall now. Okay, all the students are going back to their dormitories to go to sleep, and the street lamps, the fire for them, are starting to come on. And the guards have already eaten their lunch/dinner from the food truck, so they're just kind of putzing around. So the rest of you guys going to load in there and go to the mausoleum, or are you going to do anything else at the college?
No, I'm actually going to inform Saira that I
great
found 6 heathens.
Oh, wonderful!
The ones that I assume were not converted to Bassam Ra from your little soapbox speech. So, Arch, what are you going to do with that information?
I did say we're going to kill them and turn them into slaves.
Yeah, you're also in a place where that might be frowned upon.
Could you, Bassam Ra, man, would you mind asking them to join hands for a moment?
There are still, the people that were in the congregation are still kind of around in the courtyard. They haven't all gone back yet, so the 6 that were there kind of listening are just sort of talking amongst themselves. If you want to convince them, you could try.
You 6! A demonstration, perhaps, of the Bassam Ra's light, since I have not made believers of you just yet.
They come over to you, and one of them looks over and says, "All right, prove it."
Join hands.
I'm gonna join the circle.
I'm going to roll for them to see if they think this is something that's horrible that's about to happen.
It's real bad.
No, they're stupid. So Saira is holding hands with the other 6 people at this point, and they're waiting for Uhtred to do whatever he's going to do to prove to them.
I'm gonna let Uhtred make a little speech, and when he nods to me, I'm gonna do it.
I'm just gonna start, spouting, Latin gibberish they can't understand, since I don't have a speech prepared.
They're all just sort of, curiously looking at you as you're saying all this, not understanding anything that's going on.
While he's, yelling in Latin, I'm gonna planar shift to the necromantic dimension.
What does that do specifically?
Very specifically, that's the undead, the death dimension, and if you are not protected by the gods there or undead yourself, you're gonna fucking take necrotic damage every single second that you're alive. 3d8 or something like that.
Yeah, then that would be enough to pretty much kill them within a few seconds. So I'm not going to make you roll for that because there's no way for them to really get back. So you kind of just blip out of existence in the courtyard, and then you reappear in your necrotic death dimension. All of the people that you're holding hands with then immediately start screaming as their flesh starts to dissolve while it is still on their bodies. And they are killed within seconds.
Saira's gonna give it just a couple seconds, let it all last out, and then re-raise them with a fell animate, and then bring them back.
As the people die and fall to the ground, you're still hanging on to one of their hands, and you just immediately reanimate them in the entire line. So they all pop back up basically in the exact same positions they were in, and then you immediately return to the normal dimension where Uhtred is still standing, and the 6 individuals are now converted to zombies.
And she poses, she goes, ta-da! Repentant sinners.
Alright, now time to go dig up that fucking plaque.
So, here's what's going to happen. Arch, I'm going to have you roll for this. You're going to have to roll for strength for the 6 zombies to see if they can pry the brick out that the plaque is on. Because there are 6 zombies, I'll give you a +6 to the roll.
What's funny is Uhtred is probably strong enough to where he could have just dug it out himself.
Oh, easily. You also have a flaming sword. You could have just cut it out and melted it if you wanted to. Alright, so that's an 18, so that's enough. So those zombies go over and they immediately pry out the bricks that are around the brick with the plaque, and then remove that brick from the ground. They then immediately, as Arch had commanded them to do before, they then immediately rush into the Iron Bull with the brick that has the plaque on it. And everybody else then proceeds to load up quickly and leave before anybody notices that you just stole a plaqued item out of the ground, or stolen from the Arch Mage, or murdered some of the students.
Never heard of it.
The guards aren't going to check you on the way out because of the intimidation roll to get in, because they don't want to die. And the guards at night have been told about what happened to the guards during the day, so they're just going to kind of leave that be. And you guys are then going to travel to Villorn, which is in the north. 17, okay, that's enough. All right, so what's going to happen is this. So it's going to take a couple of days to get to Villorn, even with the Iron Bull. And as you guys are kind of approaching, after about a day of travel from Spellweaver Academy, you guys are approaching an area that looks like a small little built-up area with some small buildings. It's kind of like basically almost like a truck stop. And there's a sign that is hanging over that says brothel.
Oh,